Hey everyone, this is Gwen. Welcome to my sewing and DIY channel. In this video today, I'm going to show you my process of sewing this 70s style A-line dress with puff sleeves. This dress is actually made using a vintage sewing pattern, and me being me, I had to do something different. The design actually comes with two neckline options, either number one, a regular round neckline, or number two, kind of like a mock high turtleneck look. I actually ended up deciding to have the high mock turtleneck piece as a detachable collar piece, and so I'm going to be talking through why I did it, and I'll show you how I did it, and most importantly show you how the dress looks with and without the detachable collar. So let's go get started and make some magic. I'm sewing this dress using the vintage McCalls 3871 pattern from 1973. This is one of the many vintage sewing patterns that a super kind and generous friend from Instagram gifted to me recently. This vintage sewing pattern came with all the pattern pieces cut, which is such a huge bonus to me because I hate cutting sewing patterns. To get the pattern ready for sewing, all I had to do was to iron the pattern tissue with my iron set on low to smoothen out the big creases and folds. The fabric that I'm using for this dress is a vintage bedsheet that I found in a thrift store, and it's got this really sweet scattered floral print on a kind of a diagonal plaid-like background. I love this color combination, and I think this will go really well with some of the other colors that I'll be using for my upcoming spring and summer sewing projects. As with everything that I sew with the commercial sewing pattern, I checked the size of the pattern against my bodice sloper to see if I needed to make any adjustments. Take note that this vintage sewing pattern comes with seam allowance, while my sloper does not include seam allowance. You can see that the neckline on the pattern is lower, the armholes lower, but the shoulders and the bust are pretty much the same. All in all, it was kind of an A-okay for me. So I decided to leave the pattern as it is. To make this dress, I cut the following pieces: the front and back bodice pieces, the front and back skirt pieces, the puff sleeves, the puff sleeves, the little facing pieces and the collar pieces, which I will talk more about later, and the belt pieces. Also, I can never get over how huge puff sleeve pieces are before they're sewn up. Is it just me, or do you feel the same? Now let's get to sewing. I started off by sewing the darts on the back bodice and then attached the back bodice to the back skirt pieces. Next, I gathered the underbust area of the front bodice with 2 rows of basting stitches, then attached the front bodice to the front skirt piece. After that, I stitched the belt pieces together. I haven't heard this being talked about a lot, but when it comes to making a sharp corner, the trick that I've been taught is to make a little diagonal stitch at the corner rather than pivoting at a 90-degree angle. Since the belt pieces are rather wide, I was able to turn them right sides out with just my finger. So I'm like basically a third of my way done with the dress because I've stitched the back bodice and back skirt pieces together. I've also attached the belt to the side seams, but at this stage I haven't even really decided the type of collar that I want to do for the dress. Summer in Texas can be pretty brutal, and by the time I finish this, I think it's gonna be basically summer here, so I'm just afraid that I won't get as much wear out of it as I would like to. I also have this idea of having a detachable high collar. This is an idea that I have from a vintage handmade teapot that I got at some kind of a flea market in Singapore a couple of years back. So that's something that I am still thinking about and still undecided about. And then it was time to sew the zipper. So I'm going to be doing a center back zipper, and how I'm going to do it is basically just use my hands, my fingers and my fingernails to kind of push and feel where their teeth are and align the teeth right smack in the middle of the center back seam and then pin it in place. So I have just finished pinning the zipper to the dress, and the goal is to not have to unpick any stitches after sewing the zipper on. have success. Now at this stage, I've stitched the front and back of the dress together along the shoulders, and I decided to put the dress on to check the fit. It's looking really good! For this dress, I'm also deciding to do something a little different with the way that I finish the raw edges. Usually I use basic zigzag stitches to finish the edges, but this time I am just gonna use pinking shears to finish them. So I finished the seams with my pinking shears along the way as I continued sewing the dress together. And then I sewed the side seams of the dress together and started working on attaching the neck facing to the dress. It's been kind of a funky week for me personally and professionally, I guess, because I just have been feeling kind of impatient about how things are going for me, and I decided that this label would be the label for me as a gentle reminder for myself for this week to just accept what I can't control and to just continue to do my best in the way that I can. Once the facing is attached to the dress, I started working on sewing the sleeves to the dress. Just like I did with the front bodice, I sewed 2 rows of basting stitches along the section that needs to be gathered. I like to sew the first row about 4/8 of an inch from the edge, and then the second row 6/8 of an inch from the edge. So this means that with a seam allowance of 5/8 of an inch, the stitch line will be right between the 2 rows of basting stitches, and all the gathers are going to be neat and straight when sewing. Then I sewed the underarm seam together and made a little elastic casing along the bottom hem of the sleeves and inserted the elastic with a safety pin. I cut the length of the elastic to the width of my bicep minus about an inch because this elastic is really soft and stretchy. If the elastic looks kind of nasty to you, that's only because it's a rescued elastic from this bed sheet that I used to make my M7969 dress. Waste not, want not. Now I have a question. Is this an upside down puff sleeve or an elbow guard? Then I sewed the sleeves to the dress, and the dress was pretty much done at this stage except for the hem, and after putting it on, I just felt like it was kind of plain. So I decided that I was definitely going to add the detachable collar. I sewed the collar in this manner, right sides together all along the top edge and the side seams. Then I trimmed the seam allowance in the corners, turned the collar piece right sides out, and stitched a lace ruffle along the top edge of the collar piece. And then I finished the bottom edge that was meant to be in the neckline with a bias tape in a coordinating color. I have done a detachable pinafore dress before, but that was with a straight edge, and I was kind of nervous about how this detachable collar would turn out. Anyway, I kept going. I sewed 9 transparent plastic snap buttons on the collar and the neckline. I'm whispering now because this is really boring, and Ramses is sleeping here in my studio, so I decided to put him on TikTok live. Let's go take a look. There are like 33 people watching him now. The snap buttons are sewn 5/8 of an inch from the bottom edge of the collar piece. The buttons are stitched right along the edge of the neckline. Also, I sewed the half of the button with the protruding bit on the collar so the insides of the neckline remains smooth and that I won't get constantly poked and stabbed by the little plastic bits anytime I decide to wear the dress without the collar. Last but not least, I finished the hem by hand. And are you ready to see the dress? So overall, I'm really happy with how this dress has turned out. I'm really surprised that this vintage junior size pattern actually fits me to a T. So if you are petite and small busted like me and would like to try out vintage sewing patterns, junior size patterns are the way to go. Initially, I was actually a little concerned about how this joint would look because I'm actually joining a curved seam to the curved neckline. So I was afraid that there would be quite a bit of puckering along here, but it actually didn't end up looking too bad. Obviously, you can see that it's kind of a joint, but I just love the versatility, which is the whole idea behind my pinafore sewing tutorial, where I actually added a detachable bib to a skirt to make a pinafore. Let me know what you think about this detachable collar. Is it a yay or a nay for you? And I hope this detachable idea has given you a little bit of inspiration for your next sewing project. Don't forget to check out my last video on my spring and summer sewing plan so you have an idea of what else to expect on this channel. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more sewing, DIY, and a little bit of fun. I will see you in the next video. Bye!